What is up, Misfits and Moonbasers? It's your boy Ray Recall coming at you again with another video review. And today we're going to be looking at something quite nice. That is right, today we are going to be looking at the Transformers War for Cybertron trilogy, Earthrise, Leader Class, Optimus Prime. That is right, we got your boy Earthrise Prime here. And it just looks so good. In fact, you know what? Let me bring down the camera a bit so you can get a better look at it. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Look at that Optimus Prime. Oh my goodness, it is so nice. I just love it. So, anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and just get right into it. So, this is the Earthrise Leader Prime. It is about Voyager class size. And but we'll get a little bit more into that in just a second. But honestly, this is such a nice figure. Look at this. It's got the nice truck hitch back there with the slight secondary hitch. I'll get into that in just a little bit. But nice wheels. These rims are painted in silver. These are just the gray plastic. Some people have been wondering why the front wheels are different than the back. Have you seen a semi-truck on the road? Front wheels always have these little protrusions. The back wheels are always recessed. Same with the real-world trucks, I guess. But I love the detail. Look at all that little sculpted-in detailing. That's all over this figure. Oh my goodness! Even the front with the little bumps. These windows. These are panels are clear plastic. These are actually clear plastic as well, with silver painted back. So that has a really nice effect to it. A little clear plastic on the headlights. Some silver bumper detail. Just really nice all around. Silver smokestacks. As you can see, the rifle actually fits into this little gap back here, so it kind of keeps it out of the way. It almost looks like it's part of the actual truck itself. So yeah, in the underside, very clean. Really loving it. So there you have that. Rolls pretty darn well, as rolling things should. Quick size comparison. Here he is with Earthrise Wheeljack, who again is very low and flat, so don't let the size fool you though. Here he is with Siege Ratchet. There's that. And of course, I had to do it. Here he is with the Transformers Voyager class Siege cell shaded Optimus Prime. And yeah. Wow, that red is really intense on my camera. There we go. He is absolutely beautiful. Next to him, he's actually a little bit shorter than Siege Prime. But yeah, there's that. Now, as you can see, his legs are a slight reworking of Siege Prime's legs. As you can tell, the just the blue part in the feet, really. That's the only part that I can tell that's actually been carried over. Like the shoulder blocks are different, the arm blocks are different. Just about everything else on this figure is a brand new mold, at least in vehicle mode, with the exception of these outer blue parts for the leg as well as the feet. So, which is why, if you notice, the trailer hitch for Siege Prime is in the middle, and this one has one out to the side as well as a brand new metal piece in there. So, a little bit weird, but I honestly don't mind it. As you can see, even the feet are flip-flopped. You can see with the tail light. But yeah. Now, one thing that a lot of people are really excited about this figure having is that finally, at long last, we have a mainline retail Optimus Prime that comes with a trailer. And the trailer does have that gray, dark gray post right there. Fits right into the trailer hitch, and that just completes the G1 Optimus look so well. Absolutely love it. It rolls pretty decently. If I had a actually good base, all the wheels would roll at the same time. You do have quite a good degree of turn radius with the trailer. And oh yeah, in case you were wondering, it is compatible with Siege Prime as well. You do have a bit of clearances there as well, so it fits really nice with either. So if you want to display, you know, this Prime in robot mode and this one in vehicle mode with the trailer, you can do that. Although honestly, I mean, why would you want this guy in vehicle mode if you can, you know, if he looks like the cartoon, you want him to be like in the robot mode and like the cartoon look. But anyway, we already reviewed this guy, so we'll put him off to the side. Trailer itself actually has a stand arm that comes out like that, so it can stand on its own. Come to the back, and if you just split this open a little bit, there you go. The ramp does drop down. Can't really fit any figures in here. I think Siege Prowl is the only one that can really fit in there. Everybody else is either too tall, too wide, or too everything to fit in there. But it's nice that they, you know, gave him the trailer. You can see in there pretty decently. The fact that it does have an opening ramp, which, by the way, can connect to Siege bases. As you can see, it does have that clip system right there. And that's pretty nice. Yeah. Oh, and there's also weapon storage ports underneath. So, for example, if you want to take Prime's ion cannon and have it stored under the trailer, you can do that. If you want to have them with a bunch of other weapons from other characters, you can have it stored on the trailer. We'll get into it a little bit more once we get into the other modes for this, but the trailer actually does have several weapon storage ports inside, so you can always have him towing an arsenal with him. And but yeah. Oh, and as you can see, there are two tabs right here and right there. So whenever you close the trailer, you just want to crack open the trailer just a little bit and then squeeze them together, nice and secure. So one thing to note is that these wheel sections actually do not collapse in. I thought they would do that, but they do not, so don't try to force it. As you can see, it's clearly screwed in and there are no hinges, so just so you know. But moving right along, let's go ahead and get into Prime. And as you can see, you know, his weapon does fold in half. It just plugs in back here. That both eliminates that gap and also gives you somewhere to put the weapon if you don't want to store it on the trailer. He does still have Siege weapon ports here and here, so you can also hook up some weapons onto the side, like, you know, here's the cell shaded Prime's gun, so you can always do that if you want. So, but anyway, let's without any further ado, let's go ahead and get down to the robot mode. So for transformation, what you're going to do is just remove the gun if you haven't already. Take it and hold it in half. There you go. Prime's gun off to the side. And this guy has really intricate transformation. So what you want to do is you want to start by, one thing that you can do is that if you come to these panels right here, they do split open and they do open up all the way, so what's in there you can have access to in truck mode if you want to. If not, then you know you don't have to, but if you want to, you can. It's an option. Options are good. What is going on with my lighting? Oh, that is crazy. This is how reflective the front is. It messes with the lighting on my phone. That is hilarious. Okay, so, well, then let's not have it facing directly front. So what you want to do in order to transform it is, first of all, you want to take this panel right here. There's a little tab. Get your fingernail behind it and just open it out. There's also another tab like right over here. Get your fingernail in there, open it up all the way, and then finally these wheels, untab them and open them up all the way. Same thing with the other side. Next up, you can take the little gas canisters, and they just tab into the legs. Drop the legs down. Now, one thing that I will say is that these panels here, you can leave them up, and that does give it more uniform look to the back. However, if you want to transform it into vehicle mode, you can just leave those panels pushed down like they are in robot mode, and it still works. It just doesn't continue that blue off. It's up to you what you want to do with it. I personally just put the little tabs down there. I like the way that looks better. So you're going to come to this entire section, rotate it down, and as you do that, as you can see, it'll also loosen up the arms. So I'm going to take these, bring these out to the side like so. Often it'll open up the hands, so you can rotate the hands, close up that panel, open that panel, rotate the hand, close up that panel. Just bring the legs all the way down, open up the feet, and split the legs. They have the legs all done. And now what you want to do is you want to take this entire front section and raise it up on this hinge, just like so. Go ahead and bring the arms out now, like that. You want to take these two little panels here and collapse those in. That'll fill out Optimus's waistline. Take this panel, drop it down, and start to bring Prime's head up like so. Now, this is where it starts to get crazy. So what you're going to do is you want to take, so you tilted it back at this hinge, right? Now you want to take this hinge, rotate it forward, take these panels, bring them all the way in, take this section and it splits right there. Oops, you couldn't see it. Take this section and it splits right there. Now whenever you tab this in, be very careful because I don't like how tight that is. It pops out like that. There's like a little clip under there or something like that. But this plastic feels very, I mean, it feels sturdy, but I don't like the way that I have to force it. I feel like I'm going to break it. So be very careful whenever you're clicking that into place and unclicking it. But you basically do that. Take these panels, rotate them in all the way. Take this panel, rotate it all the way behind that. Collapse this back into the chest proper. At that point, you can also straighten out the head, and then there's a tab that goes into the slot right there. 2 tabs, 2 slots. That creates that chest piece. Rotate at the waist, and then bring up this butt panel and close in the wheels. Straighten out the arms. And there you have Earthrise Optimus Prime in his robot mode. Oh my god, this is a beautiful figure. My phone's camera is picking up a much brighter version of red than what is actually in front of me. Than what's actually in hand. Let's see. that looks like it's more accurate. Because this is a little bit too bright red. This is a little bit more of a subdued red. That's more of what you're trying to, of what you'll be looking at whenever you get this. So yeah. And I don't really feel comfortable going up into the details about this figure without showing you this figure as well, because they do share a lot of similarities. Like I said, I think the only actual pieces that were the same were these outer blue leg pieces with the feet, because if you look in the back, like with all this transformation stuff in there, that's not present in the Earthrise figure. The thighs are different, hip assembly is different, the entire body assembly is different. Shoulder smokestacks are different, arms are different lengths, hands are completely different. Body transformation is different. The only thing that is similar is the heads, which I think, if I'm not mistaken, they are actually the same head sculpt, just painted differently. And that's even amongst the standard release of this guy. But yeah. So, all in all, this Earthrise Optimus is a completely different figure from the Siege Optimus. Even though they're the same character, it's a completely different figure. So, going into some of the details, again, let's get a good look at that head sculpt there. The eyes are painted in very nicely, although I wish they would have painted the space between them. That would have helped them to pop out just a little bit more. But I understand why they did that, to reference the G1 toy. Really nice body. A lot of people were pissed off about the butt flap. Honestly, it's not so much, it doesn't bother me that much. It doesn't limit the articulation too bad, because as you can see, he does have quite a range with that waist rotation. And I've seen some people that have, taken it and just like popped it off. I don't want to do that, but the option is there, so that's nice that they gave you that option. Another thing that some people are complaining, or had some complaints about, was the fact that he is very long-legged, with a very squished torso and super short arms. I like Gundam. Gundams are like 60% leg. So, at least a lot of the older styles of them were. But yeah, so honestly, I don't mind that either. It is a little bit off-putting at first if you don't know what you're looking. If you can tell something's wrong, but if you don't know what you're looking at, and then it's like, I'll just deal with it. And I do deal with it, even though I do know what's wrong. I do wish that the arms could extend just a hair, but honestly, it's not the end of the world. The blue for his hands and for his helmet is actually a nice metallic blue. Not so much for the legs. If it is the same, then no, it's actually different, because this actually on his crotch, his hands, and for his helmet, it's actually painted in. Oh yeah, there you can see it. It's this nice metallic blue paint that is not present on his legs for some reason. But yeah, there you go. So articulation, his head is on a ball joint. It can do all kinds of expressions. His arms can go full 360 in and out. He does have a bit of a backwards bend due to transformation. Bicep rotation, about 90 degrees bend at the elbow. Wrist rotates 180. He does have opening fingers, which are really nice. They are just all on one hinge. And his hand and thumb assembly is actually shaped so that he can still hold, 5mm weapons while his hand is completely open. So you don't have to worry about it being loose or anything like that. Previously mentioned waist rotation. Due to the new sculpt for his crotch, his legs can go forward that far, back about that far. Completely like 90-degree outward rotation, or outward bend. He does have a thigh rotation. It's very deep knee bend. And and ankle pivot that goes out about that far. So he is actually quite posable. You can get him to do a lot of crazy stuff with this guy. Now, as far as accessories, he does, of course, come with his ion blaster right here. It just fit into his hand like so. And he does come with a few other accessories, which actually happen to be in the trailer. So let's go ahead and bring the trailer back. So the trailer actually does some transformation as well. So what you want to do is you want to take the sides, split it open like so, drop down the ramp, and then this little buddy actually extends upward, and his arms move out. So you have a little command deck in a way. Also, he can move backwards on this hinge as well, so there you go. So this is technically the command deck mode, or whatever you want to call it. You can have Optimus. Let me get him into a prone position. You can have him lie down, like so, on the command deck, so it looks like he's being repaired or whatever. And one thing I like is that even though his heel spurs stick out, the trailer has a little bit of sculpting right here so that you actually can just rest him on there and he's still level, which is nice. Oops. The support strut collapsed in on me. There we go. And one thing I like about this is that, you know, for example, if you take Siege Ratchet's little repair arm, he does have ports all up and down here. So you can make it so that, you know, Ratchet could be working on him or whatever, which is cool. A little bit of cross compatibility. That's for the prone mode. You can also stand it up, in which case you just fold this forward and the little back struts right here. Make sure that this this armature here is rotated completely up. And then you can have a repair bay for Optimus, where Optimus is standing up. Very cool. I wouldn't be surprised if Takara did a Evangelion repaint of this. I know they're doing a sleep mode Optimus version of this, which I do want to get, by the way. That actually looks pretty cool for certain display reasons, but I can see them doing a Neon Genesis Evangelion version of this Optimus because of the whole combat deck reasons. And then, a cool thing that you can do with the trailer is that on this little slider, he has a shield, and back here, you can untab this, and then you can integrate these components onto Optimus Prime. Just like so. Which, honestly, is a neat little feature. I'm glad that they were able to integrate more of the trailer components into there. So that is actually pretty nice, in my opinion. I know some people will think this is stupid and ridiculous, but whatever. So take that, get that, put that away, put that back where it was. Now, there is one more component to Optimus that we have not covered yet. And let me just get this trailer off to the side. That is something to do with the lighting of a certain dark hour. So again, if you take these little panels right here, split them open, you have the matrix of leadership. That just is amazing. Now, Optimus can't exactly open up his chest because his arms are weird, but you can open up the chest and, see, there it goes. Unlike with the Power of the Primes Optimus, that matrix isn't a nightmare to get out. You just kind of, there you go. And get a good look into the chest cavity. There we go. It's got some nice silver paint in there, a lot of molded in details. I don't know how well it's coming off on camera. Let me see here. There we go. It's got a lot of nice molded in details. There is a little bit of a hole back there, and I thought that you might be able to work some LEDs, but the way that the chest transforms, all of his truck kibble is right behind there. So if you wanted to gain access to that, you'd have to remove like this whole chunk right here in order to gain access to that. And then there's also these panels right here as well that block that hole. Same thing with vehicle mode. All of his truck, or all of his robot kibble is behind there in truck mode, so not really sure what the point of putting a hole right there was, but I don't know. But here, let's go ahead and take a look at it. This is actually one of the coolest little matrices I've ever seen. It's really nice. It's got a big hole in the back for light piping purposes, and this is actually a 5mm hole. And so you can do several things with this. For example, if you get Optimus Prime to hold it in his hands, you can take some siege blast effects like this one from Rung for reasons. And actually have it shoot matrix energy out of it, which is pretty neat. You can also do the same thing. Since there isn't actually any specific way that, since this can actually be put in his chest either forwards or backwards. I know that a lot of the Cyberverse toys are having a matrix blast effect with their Optimus Prime, so you can also have him like, oops. It's not in there very secure though. That's kind of one of the few problems I have about it, is that it's in there a little too loose, but you can always have him like shoot matrix energy out of his chest. Like that. Or one thing that I have not seen people do, but it is an option, is that if you look, Optimus's Ion Blaster has a secondary handle. Now you would think that you might be able to have him reach over and like kind of dual hand his Ion Blaster, but his arms are too stubby. So one thing that I found is that if you take the Matrix, you can actually plug it on to the Ion Blaster, and that just looks foreboding. I mean, I would not want to have Optimus firing Matrix energy out of his gun, which seems like a grave misuse of the Matrix of Leadership, but it is what it is. So we'll just take that back. Put this back where we found it. Open that up. Oh yeah, almost forgot. One more thing you can do with the Matrix is that if you bring back the trailer, there is actually a little 5mm post right here. So you can actually take the Matrix, rest it right there, and have it look like they're trying to do science on the Matrix. And that works especially well if you have like a Perceptor or something like that. So, yeah. There's options. You can do things with it. And as always, options are a good thing. Oh yeah, by the way, 5mm ports on the little drone, and it can rotate. So there you have that. So yeah, that pretty much does it for the Transformers Leader Class Earthrise Optimus Prime. As you can see, he is a very good figure, and this is the wrong Optimus. Whoops. There we go. As you can see, he is a very nice figure, looks good, is nice and solid, very articulated, very posable, and you can do a ton of stuff with him. So I really, really do enjoy this Optimus. So I picked him up at a local retailer for full price. He does run the leader class price point, of course. Whatever. I'll just hold my camera phone like this. Now, if you have the Siege Optimus, is it worth it to get this guy? Given the more G1 look, the fact that he has a matrix, and of course the fact that he comes with the trailer, I don't see why you wouldn't get him. I mean, they are very similar looking, but whenever you break it down to like the transformation, the parts themselves, the engineering, they are completely different figures. So Siege Optimus works as a very good standalone figure, but if you really want that G1 look, you gotta go with the Earthrise version. Of course, if you have, you know, the cell shaded one, like I do, they also look very good together as well. But as far as vehicle modes go, this Optimus actually does, in my opinion, have the superior vehicle mode. As far as robot modes go, Siege has the better robot mode overall, just in the fact of size and whatever and proportion, but Earthrise has a lot more options that you can go with instead of just the, you know, with the trailer, the matrix. He still is all kinds of cross-compatible with, you know, Siege weaponizers and blast effects and all that stuff like that. You know, he's got blast effect ports on his legs. He's got them on his shoulders. It'd be awesome if he had one right there, but I mean, they're both excellent figures. If you see Earthrise Optimus, get him. If you can still find the Siege Optimus, get specifically the cartoon animation version, because that one actually does hold up much better of the two versions of this mold. But yeah, so anyway, that'll about do it for this video. So this has been the Transformers War for Cybertron Earthrise Leader Class Optimus Prime review. I have been Ray Recall. Y'all have been awesome, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video review. See you there. Peace.